Good morning. How many of you have heard snapping shrimp before, by a show of hands? How many of you have seen a snapping shrimp? I've got a couple. Okay. Good poll. Okay, we skipped my title slide, no problem. What you hear, now you have all heard a snapping shrimp. The sounds that you hear now are the most consistent sound that you would hear in coastal seas, and these are produced by tiny, mostly unseen snapping shrimp. And basically in this speed talk, I'm going to just have a couple minutes to introduce you to something that I could talk to you about for hours. Pretty much, if you put your head underwater in any coastal sea from temperate to tropical habitats, you're going to hear some version of that crackling sound that you just heard. Now that you've heard it, hopefully you won't unhear it. Most people don't realize that what they're actually hearing is snapping shrimp. So in the background right now is actually a recording made in the kelp forests here in Cape Town, where there are one or two species, not as many as what was played before, which is in a coral reef where there might be upwards of hundreds of species. So because we can't get away from this sound, which is the bane of many marine bioacousticians' existence, snapping has been thought, well, maybe we can use this. Can we help define habitats or characterize them through these metrics? And I'm here to tell you that it's not that shrimple, which is the title of my talk and my poster. So despite the snapping being the backbone of most soundscapes, whether it be coral reefs, mangroves, seagrass, the kelp forests, we really don't know hardly anything about these animals. So historically, when this sound source was discovered to be shrimp in the 1940s during World War II, the early work suggested that this is very consistent. The paradigm was that these animals produce sound consistently across seasons, dusk and nighttime dominance, and that is predictable, associated across their distribution. But about 15 years ago, when I started listening to underwater habitats and was fascinated by this sound that no one had really studied very much, we developed an algorithm to count the snaps, which, as we've been able to record at higher resolution, we really find that there's a ton of complex variation and the opposite pattern from what early researchers had kind of put out there in the literature. These are just a couple examples of high resolution data showing that actually some populations of shrimp snap during the daytime. You can go 50 meters across a reef and you'll find shrimp that are snapping a completely different pattern than the shrimp on the other side. So there's a lot going on that we don't know about. And once you realize that there's actually over 600 species already described in these two families of shrimp, it's perhaps less surprising that there's so much variation, and practically no acoustic ecology has been done. I am like a one-woman show who's trying to, around the world, learn more about snapping shrimp, so I'm trying to also inspire other bioacousticians to get interested in these tiny critters. So with that, check out my poster for more. You can ask me about my snapping shrimp tattoo, and I also have some stickers that say, "Keep it shrimple." So thank you very much.
Thanks, Ashlee. We have time for one quick question. Beth.
Great talk. Do we have any indication why they snap?
Yeah, there's a few different ideas, and they're probably snapping for multiple reasons, right? So snapping shrimp live in all types of habitats, all types of life history. Some live in colonies. They're actually the only example of eusocial animals in the sea. So there are colonies that live in sponges and have a queen. And so in that kind of situation, there's some implication that they're communicating with each other. Often snapping shrimp are very aggressive, and they're certainly using it in their territorial conflicts and within species. I've done a few experimental studies, so I can tell you more at the poster about that too.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.